And everybody, before we get into this early afternoon update, we need to go over a quick synopsis of what's going on across the market. First, as you can see behind me, the Dow is down 17, the S&P's down 8.5 points, Nasdaq's down 43. So Nasdaq's doing the worst. But we're going to take a look at crypto, and in particular XLM, and why everything doesn't always appear what it seems when you're looking at the chart. XLM broke out of a long-term descending triangle or falling channel, and now it's actually backtesting that pattern formation on this big drop by Bitcoin. So we're going to take a look to see if XLM is actually putting in a bear trap. And is this what's actually going on across crypto and XRP alike, as XRP slipped below 51 cents, but we haven't fallen below that 50-cent critical support, and ultimately the 482 support that would invalidate the inverted head and shoulders in the short term. Right now, we already know on the weekly that we're in a head and shoulders pattern, so that would primarily take over, especially if we lose the 482. So this is very important as Bitcoin's sitting around the 29,400 level, but I want to focus in on XLM when we start to see if a possible bear trap is playing out right now, and XLM actually might have some ambitions to get to about the 12 cent area. Make sure you hit that like button as I play the intro, as it really does help push me through the analytics. I don't want to overstate it, but YouTube's algorithm is a pile of horse shit. And if you hit that like button, even if you hit the dislike button or call me an asshole in the comments, it really does help. I'll catch you on the other side of the intro. Good early afternoon, 12:53 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, April 17th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So as we can see on XLM, we'll start here. I've got two different charts. This is showing you it as in the falling channel perspective. We were covering it just like this before the breakout. Had the huge potential on here, and then it popped out. And now I would like to move this along here because we're trying to find where this breakout point would be. So if it happens here, the potential move would be just shy of what we were talking about at the 12.06 level. So we're going to see if we can hold this falling channel support. But now this can also break all the way back down to the pattern breakout, and it could actually come down to that 998 level. So that's something we need to pay attention to. You could actually have the breakout happen over here, even though it technically broke out of this channel. So I'd like to see it break out of here somewhere in this area. So this is what we need to watch for. So if you bought it at 10.33, if you were really going long, and it's an issue though. See, this is the thing. If you go long here, there's not really a buffer zone here because you're buying it at the 10.33 level, which is on the falling channel support. And then if you played it under here, even on a 10x trade, that's a 42% drop, and no one's going to want to sit through all of that. So when we're looking at this right now, we're trying to establish if this can hold or if this is going to break through. And that's why the level it's at, this is an emergency for XLM. If you're a fan of XLM, I came on here right now because this is the absolute time. If it's going to break out, this was the back test it needed. This is the area it's in. And if it holds it, I'll show you it from a descending triangle look. That was from the falling channel perspective. Both are bullish reversals on the breakout, which it already has. And now it appears to be trying to back test the breakout. So when we look at this, this is from the descending triangle perspective. And they both get you to about the same area. And I was doing these on the 4-hour time frame. So on the 30, it looks like it's popping up and over, and that's how it's supposed to look. But I was using in the 4-hour and ultimately the daily I was looking at to get these wicks in the channel and for the descending triangle. So this is what I thought was forming. And it finally popped out here. Now, when it came up here and here, we said it has to hit this descending triangle or falling channel, depending on which perspective you're playing, which they're both bullish reversals. After a nice drawn-out period of a consolidation, we came up to 11.4, and we consolidated back down to 10.2, and now we tried to push out. Now, if we lose this, that's where the problem happens, and it's easier to see on the other one, my other XLM chart. But if you lose this, that's where the problem starts, because then you got to come back down to the 998, which is technically the breakout point of the actual longer term pattern that took quite some time to finally get through this zone. I mean, it took a very long time. It started this uptrend in the early January, but this is the short part of the pattern. The longer part of that resistance has been going on for quite some time. I don't really want to go all the way back. I guess I can, but that's all the way back to December, late November, early December of 2022. It's been trying to push past this resistance, and now that it's pushed past it, if it holds it as a support, this could be a validation of a major breakout here for XLM that would push to about 12 cents. Just over 12 cents. So pay attention to this. Pay attention to this with XLM because it's at its meet point here. And yeah, it's got an overextension to where it could technically hold the 998. So as long as XLM holds 998, it has a chance to break out here in a pretty big way. And if it breaks out from the channel on the back test, this is about a 17% move back up to the top. So pay attention to that, as it could be putting in a bear trap here after a major breakout from a descending and or falling channel. XRP, on the other hand, is falling pretty quickly, as it failed to hit the 52.22 and hold yesterday. It hit it, but it didn't hold. And now we're down 2.44%. It's not looking that good for XRP. We haven't fallen out of the last chance area here yet. We have 50 cents below, but if we lose this pattern formation, 50 cents is all but a certain thing. We're trying to hold this 508. You lose the 508, you have to come back down to 50 cents. And ultimately, you've got to break this downtrending resistance here, and it's become a bitch now. As you can see, since this wick formed up here, we've not been able to get past this downtrending resistance. Hit, rejected twice. And now we're just falling very quickly. We're trying to hold this downtrending support in this little formation that we've created. But it's not looking great right now for XRP. If we lose the 50 cent mark, you have 494, and then you must hold 482 so that you don't invalidate this recent inverted head and shoulders. But it already played this out, so that short-term inverted head and shoulders, that might have been the move, believe it or not. But it got rejected very harshly on that downtrending resistance line after we got rejected the first time. The second time here got a harsh rejection. But now, just like with XLM, is it putting in a bear trap? If so, it will hold ultimately this level. But I would expect if a bear trap, it should hold the 50 cents. But you never know. If it loses this formation, then it might bounce in here and then ultimately lose it and then try to play back to that 482 level. So it's a lot of stuff going on right now. So pay very close attention to the market. It's very dicey. But I'm looking to see if this is a trap being set or if this is just the end of this pattern formation. And then we ultimately come back down for XRP would be about 35 cents. XLM would have to reverse all the way back down to close to 8 cents here. And then it would just become a nightmare for Bitcoin. And we'll close on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's at 29,476. And right now we've fallen down, and we knew once we lost that 30,000, we already knew this formation down here. So is Bitcoin coming a little lower? Possibly. We'll probably have to come down if we lose this area we're at, because it looks like a bear flag's forming. I mean, let's just call it for what it is. A head formation happened. And it looks like now we might have to come down to that 28,700 area we talked about this morning, because now Bitcoin's going to have to try to validate that breakout. And just like with XLM, there's nothing wrong with this. It broke out of this channel finally, had a big boost up, couldn't break out to the top side potential. Now it can backtest this 28,700 as support instead of resistance, as it was resisted upon all over here. Now it's on the top side, so this very well could play out as a bear trap. Now be aware, if you fall back into this channel, that's where you don't want to be. And then it can come down here to 27,350 approximately. And if you lose that, then we know we're coming down to 25,194. And this has formed its big head formation. And it's pretty much over from there. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you got anything on this update, make sure you hit that like button, as it will greatly help push me through the analytics. Share this with a friend so that they can watch a FUD-free technical analysis without all the bullshit. And then also make sure you turn that bell notification to all, because, hey, if you can't see when my update comes out, you're not going to be able to stay up to date. And make sure to subscribe and join the over 16,100 subscribers, as we went over that over this weekend. We went over 16,000, so I appreciate that from everybody. If you want to trade XRP or your favorite crypto with no spot fees and be able to futures trade up to 250x, there's a link in the video description below and or pinned comment for BitGet and or MEXC. Hashtag be better, do better. Hashtag fight assassins. And remember, help one person each and every day. Because if I don't do my part, then you don't do your part. what the hell is the point? And if you want to show some extra support, there's a way to do it in the comments below and the video description. You can join Tom's Army, or you can send XRP, or if you feel inclined, send something through Cash App.